All right, it says we are live. I'm going to give a minute for it to catch up and make sure that it actually shows live on here. There's always that fun little delay for a second, so to make sure it's working. It's really slow today. Let me try and refresh the page and looky there. It just didn't refresh the page. Maybe that's a new thing on YouTube. I think it did that last time as well. All right, well, welcome everybody. I'm gonna grab real quick. My daughter is being really kind and bringing me my tea that I was a little behind on and didn't have ready to go before I clicked live. So thank you, Katie. Because I hadn't even had my first cup of tea yet today, and that kind of felt important. So I will probably function way better for you guys knowing that I have that in me. So I'll be sipping that a little here as we get started. It's just been one of those super busy mornings. So good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome. And I think that that is Leah today behind the Pinkfresh Studio name. I haven't heard otherwise. So, all right. Yes, very nice daughter. She's very, I had it made. I just lost track of time, so I didn't quite have it poured over and into my cup and everything. So, all right. Well, if you are new here, or if you are one of our old friends that we're used to seeing in the chat, a big blanket welcome to everybody. If you are new, leave a little note in the chat and let us know that this is your first live. We would love to welcome you. I will say now a big blanket welcome. 'Cause a lot of times when I start crafting, I'm paying more attention to my desk and I don't necessarily keep my eye on the comments quite as well. So if I miss, Leah will do, and it is Leah. She did just respond to that. She does a great job of catching those. And everyone else is such a great group here. We love all of our friends that join us, and they do a great job of welcoming everyone. A couple things just to go over before we get started on my card for today. Old friend, meaning you've been here a while. I'm probably older than you, so that's funny, Elise. All right, so a couple things to go over. First of all, we give away a $15 gift card every one of these lives. And the way you enter to win that is just what everyone's doing. Leave lots of comments in the chat. Feel free to ask a question. Just enjoy chatting with each other. Answer a question if you see something that you know the answer to. Um, yes, Leah, dear friend, that's a good way. I kind of like the term old friend because it just means it's grown over time. So I use that. Um, Probably in times where it doesn't really apply. All right. So Leah will pick a winner at the end for that $15 gift card from all the comments. One additional way that you can enter to win is by sharing this video. There's a link. You can grab it at the bottom or just from your browser. You can share it in a message to a friend, whether that's an email or a text message. You can share it on your own social media, or if you're part of a crafty group and you know that it's allowed, feel free to post it there. And then come back and leave another comment letting us know you shared. That's the only way we know that you did. So, and I see Super Nina D, if I said your name right, she is new here, and I probably have missed a couple other new friends joining us. So, um, so welcome. We're so glad that you're here. All right, one additional thing that we're really grateful for if you can do is hitting that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the video. It doesn't necessarily count as another entry in the giveaway, but it helps our reach, helps more people find us while we're live now and also on the replay. Fun fact, Leah and I, and actually Kinnery, we are all born in the same year. I thought that was kind of funny when we started, just different months, but we're all really close to the same age, which is kind of funny. So, Leah, don't I say Leah? Catching Holly Brown. I always thought I said Leah, but I don't know if I say it with a little more, maybe a touch of a British accent, even though I'm not at all. But all right, Amy, I'm not going to tell. I'm not going to tell on everyone else what year. That's very cute. I don't mind telling for myself, but now that I've said that, I don't want to tattle on anyone else that doesn't want to share that information. So feel free to put your guesses in there. I'm not gonna not gonna tattle. All right, so I'm gonna turn the camera around here in just a minute and get started. One final thing about what I'm using today is that we are going Everything I'm going to use today is linked in the video description for the most part. I haven't chosen if I'm going to add any bling at the end. That might be kind of a last minute addition. So feel free. Amy, it might be. Young at heart. I'm just going to say I'm young at heart. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera around here. And while I do that, get a little sip of my camera while the sip of my tea while the camera switches around. Goodness, I feel like today's Monday, even though it's totally not. And I don't know why the camera always freezes on the most unflattering position when it makes that change, but here we are. All right, I'll be sipping my tea as we go along, but we are going to use, this is one of my favorites from their most recent release. This is called the Dainty Floral Frame, and it's this beautiful press plate. Get this gorgeous design with it, and I absolutely love it. I'm super excited to use that today. I used it a bunch for the release with hot foiling. I used some satin pastel hot foils. Goodness, I'm gonna not pay as much attention. For some reason, I can't like talk and read the comments as much today. So I'm just gonna kind of check in on those once in a while and make sure I catch anything important. So I used this to hot foil, I used the reverse with the solid hot foil. Today, I thought it would be fun to kind of pull out and do it a little bit for the press plate version. I also have these that I'm gonna use. I did realize I forgot to grab some letterpress paper, so give me a second to grab that. Okay. All right, here we go. Just gotta trim this in half so that we have that covered there. All right, and I'm gonna use my Letterpress machine. I'm also gonna use the nested elongated ovals. So I'm gonna go ahead and set those aside for now though, and we're gonna focus on this press plate. Let me grab my Letterpress machine as well. And we're gonna get started here, lining this up. I realized I usually do a slightly bigger panel of cardstock to tape it, but it does look like I actually got it a little bit longer than I planned. So that will help. So I won't have to worry about the tape covering where I want the ink to go. Okay, we're gonna do a lot of letterpress because I'm also gonna use those nested elongated ovals for the letterpress version. I'm gonna use a little bit of the yellow tape that comes with the letterpress machine. And I'm just gonna tape this in place, kind of get it centered as best as I can. All right, there we go. So we've got that. All right, and I wanted to play with kind of a multi-tone effect on this. And Amy, yes, I think I kind of alternated some of the hot foil, and that was kind of fun. All right, so I want to mix and match a little bit of some different ink colors. I'm going to pull out my little brushes because I want to do a little bit of blending between. So I'm going to go for kind of an ombre effect here. I waffled. I talked to Leah earlier and I was originally going to do cherry blossom, but I defaulted back. I decided I'm going to do ballet slipper and then a little bit of peach fuzz and a little bit of lemon whip. I'm kind of going back to some older colors that I haven't done in a while, and I thought it would be kind of fun. So we've got that centered on there. I'm going to start with pink for that top part. And gonna just kind of roughly aim for, actually, you know what? So I'm thinking about this. I think I'm gonna do pink at both ends. Take a little bit off there because I went a little further than I intended. Doesn't matter if there's a little left on there. These are soft colors. It's not gonna hurt anything. I'm gonna kind of come in a little bit with that peach fuzz, kind of balance that out a little bit there. And then I think we'll just do lemon whip really in that center part. I think that kind of sounds fun. Let's overlap these a little bit more just to get a nice blend. I was going to blend them with my blending brushes, but now that I'm looking at it, I feel like I'm getting a pretty good blend just by slightly, and I'm not too worried about a tiny bit of ink overlap. All right, let's give that a try. Oh, and yes, I see Leah just answered the question about which which paper I'm using. All right, let's pop that top part on. Let's see how this came out. I'm kind of excited for the multi-tone. I haven't done that in a little while. So let's see what our final. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. I am so happy with how that came out. And I really am glad I stuck with that ballet slipper. I do see, I think along the very bottom, let's see, it would be over here. I see a tiny bit. I'm gonna be crazy and brave here. Let's see if I can, it should line up perfectly, but let's see. Just gonna run that through and get a tiny bit more ink on that bottom part because I felt like I think I just missed a little bit on the inking there. So yep, I'm better. I'm more happy with that. Such a beautiful effect. And you know what, guys? I always feel like the saddest thing about letterpress and cards in life, you can't really see. Wish you could feel that texture that's on there and the fun, just that elegant feel that you get by adding the letterpress to it. It's such a cool design. Ginny, I don't believe it does. I know that there's one version that maybe does. I'm gonna set that aside for now, really quickly here. And I'm just gonna clean this off. And a little bit of water works really good for cleaning with our ink. And then I'm having a second thought. At one point, what my original plan was, now I'm looking at that ombre effect. I'm really loving that. So I wanted to use these three frames. These are the ones that fit. I picked these because they all nest inside where this is, right? So I was going to do one in each color and just work my way down. And now I'm kind of having the second thought of, I think I might just make them all a similar, but reverse the ombre. So I go from the outside with the yellow and then work my way in. And then I can die cut them once. And I might leave them all in one or die cut them individually. I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to make sure they're lined up in there well. And we're going to tape our paper here in place. Reusing that same tape. All right. So let's pull out those ink colors again. And like I said, we might reverse a little bit. So I think I'm going to do a good coating of pink in the middle. Oops, got a little fuzz there. And then we'll come in and overlap a little bit with some peach fuzz on each end. Kind of excited to see how this comes out on these frames. And then a little bit of lemon whip on the ends. Okay, go back a little bit with peach fuzz just to overlap there on that yellow so we get a good blend. And then a little more of that ballet slipper just blended in the center so we get a really good ombre effect. These colors kind of make me think of sherbet or something like that. I don't know. They're just kind of happy colors. All right. And yes, Tanya, I'm just kind of glancing at every now and then at the comments. I love that these were designed to work together so well. Oh my goodness. Those are so pretty. Oh, I love how those look together. This is gonna be pretty. And I already have some water on my rig, so I just quickly wipe those down. I love hot foiling with press plates, but every now and then it's kind of fun to pull out and do the letterpress design like this. All right, I'm gonna leave those on there. We might pull this out again for our sentiments, but I'll leave it out of the way for now while we decide. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's trim this panel down a little. I had originally pulled out one little fun tip. the nested rectangles die. If you have that set, the very largest one is exactly A2 size. So a lot of times I do this on a bigger panel, especially for hot foiling. And then I use that die to cut it down because I don't have to get the whole thing square. I only need to trim off the top and bottom. I'm actually gonna skip that step today. I just kind of threw those on the supply list. So if you saw them on there, I wanted to explain why they were there. We're just gonna make sure we add the same amount of distance all the way around. Let's see, a tiny bit closer. I think that does it. That was just a tiny bit of trimming, so nothing too crazy. All right, and then I should have offset these a little, then I could have used the scrap for my sentiment if we hot foil that, or better press that, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and cut out, I'm just gonna do the whole thing together to start with, and then I can decide if I want to cut each individual one. I'm kind of leaning towards keeping them together. But we'll see once we get that one. Let's get those taped in place. Taking our time. All right. I'm gonna die cut these off camera and then I'll be right back. All right. So now is the decision time. Do I want to cut each one? I know one thing I do want to do. I do want to cut that center portion out of that frame because I think I want to do some dimension popping up there. So I am going to do that, which is a little bit scary. Let's use that one to cut in there because I do want these to be kind of perfectly lined. No, that's what I want to do. Nope. We're just gonna line them up. We're gonna go for centered and just trust the process because I think as long as I center them, yeah. Bonus is here now too. I can use this center piece for my sentiment if we better press that. All right. I'm going to cut each one. Still debating. Still on pondering. Oh, good. That cut perfectly. So that's good. I could alternate and stagger if we cut all the layers. So let's see, we should at least cut the center. So let's do that and then decide. I think that would be a good. Save that so we can use that one. I like concentrate here as I do these. All right, I'm going to do that real quick and be right back again. All right. Actually, now with that cut that way, I almost kind of like that all together. Right, we're going to add one additional step here that something else I'd kind of forgotten that I thought about doing. Let's see how that changes the look of this here. I've also got some more florals and things we're going to do. I wanted to add a little bit of tone on tone inking with these. just to kind of pop out that color ever so slightly more. I think that's going to add kind of a fun. So we're going to add just a little bit here, especially around the outer edges. I think, oopsie. There we go. A little touch of ballet slipper. I could pull out my full-size pads too, but at this point I just figured I've got my ink cubes here and those will work. And I do like that. I think that adds a kind of a softness to the card. Clean the ink off a little bit there. Let's pull out Peach Fuzz brush. I feel like it's just kind of adding a little bit of life to the card design. I don't know if it shows a lot on camera. I almost could have done one side so you could kind of see the difference it made, but hopefully it's kind of coming to life there for you too. Makes it a little less stark white contrast, I guess, too. And get that extra ink off my desk. Being a question about wondering if we're sisters. We do get that asked that a lot. Oh, that was really close. I better pay attention. I need lemon whip, not. That's why that was darker. That was cherry blossom, not ballet slipper. Ha. Okay. Felt like that pink was going on a little deeper than I expected, but you know what? Ballet slipper and cherry blossom they play really well together. So I think that worked well. That actually makes me wonder. Nope, I think that still is ballet slipper. Like I wonder on this one if I did do a deeper color. I'm not entirely sure. Okay. All right, clean the desk off. And then I do like the little added color tone that adds. Okay, so then the question is, do we pop that up or do we pop this one up? And I definitely think this one needs to be up. So now the real question is, do we want to die cut some of those extra? And I think I am. If I put them all together, that's fine. It won't hurt anything. But I think I'm feeling like I want to die cut those additional layers. Yep. We're just going to make that decision. If we regret it, we'll deal with that at that time, right? Let me grab those little tiny pieces of tape that I have. Actually, we'll do the inner one first. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it together. I think if we tape them together, that'll actually be by far the easiest. All right. Bear with me, my brain's like short-circuiting there. There we go. I think I've got those held in place. Knock on wood, and let's go cut those. I see Leah's answering some questions there. Ooh, fun. Okay. So now we've got all those. I'm actually debating now on leaving that layer out. I don't know. I may space the layers in separate. I haven't fully decided yet, or just alternate up and down, but we've got time. We've got time. That's why we do this. and give an hour to work on it. Okay. Phyllis, that's a trick from Jennifer McGuire. I think if you go search there, I don't remember what the plates are called. Hold on a second. There we go. They're cutting plates. They're called for double-sided dies. Those are the ones I have. And there's a different sandwich. Basically one of those on each side and a clear plate. But I would go search on Jennifer McGuire. You'll probably get more information there. And that's where I got the idea from. So full credit where it's due. And the plates last way longer and don't wear out as quickly, I feel like. So. All right. Sorry, that little sip of tea here. Let's grab, I think with all of this color, I'm just going to stick with a white card base. So let's start pondering how we want to put this together. I think we definitely need some alternating, there we go, that's the word, alternating layers on this to get this working the way we want. I love how the pink is in the middle and the outer, so it's kind of contrasting in that way. You know what I almost like? Nope, I think we're going to alternate. So I think we'll do this one up on foam, this one down, and then we'll do one in and one out, kind of alternate that way. So let's adhere this directly just onto the card base. I'm just going to use a tape runner and keep this simple. So I did make some for the release that I turned into a shaker card, and these came out super cute as shaker cards. So I'm not going to do that today because that's a whole nother level of time that I don't want to invest. But it's kind of another fun alternative. All right, so that one's going to go up with foam. And then that one will go down, and then this one will go up with foam. We'll kind of alternate those. So I'm going to inset this one first, so it'll be easier to set this one in when I don't have the other one around, if that makes sense. And the two on foam will be a little more forgiving, I think. Okay, that's that in. Make sure I've got that fitted in there. These are nesting so tight that that's why I did that. Okay. Now we pull out those foam strips and let's work on those. Those, fun fact with these foam strips, if you pull off the backing, they bend really nice around all curves and everything on your die cut pieces. So kind of just a fun little tidbit there if you didn't know that. I remember where I learned that one. Might have even been from Leah. Sometimes there's things that we both do that I can't remember which one of us saw it first. Oops. A little extra up there, and then I'll buy this one here. Bit of a tighter curve there on this one, but I think I'll have them both done same time. All right. One little tiny piece there just to fill in that hole and make sure it's stable and good to go. Okay. Fix that one that's curving a little wonky there. All right, here we go. Let's get that nested into place. Ah, so pretty. And that dimension, cutting them apart was the right choice. It would have looked lovely the other way, but now Hope you can see there's that fun little touch of dimension in all of that, super cool. Okay. Another item I wanted to use today, let me clean a few things off on my desk here. Aside from our sentiments that we're going to pick one here from this set, I also wanted to use the garden party. Now, Leah featured this once already, and for her, she used the coordinating stencils. So you stencil and then you die cut and you get all the colored. One other fun thing you can do with these, though, is just die cut them directly from colored cardstock. So I cut them from a few different colors. Also, glitter or any other kind of cardstock like that is super fun. So I cut them from a few different colors. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to like or want to use. Kind of thinking these yellow are going to be super fun. But I also sometimes just like them in neutral white. So I might mix and match some of those. I did a soft green that we might tuck on there for the greenery. And there's also some of the pink. I'm kind of leaning more towards mixing and matching some of the yellows, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm just going to kind of play with a couple of ideas here. No, because I think the little bit of white in there is kind of a good pop. But I want to, let's see, put that on there. Play with what exactly do I want these to look like? That one's kind of fun too. All right. Hmm. That's kind of a fun. I like those layered together. I'm going to be doing some like hemming and hawing and thinking here apparently. So bear with me. I really do like the yellow and white together. Now we got to decide, do we like, and actually I think I do like the pop of green for the greenery, for lack of a better, better phrasing there. Wasn't sure if I'd want to stick with like white greenery or something along those lines, but I do kind of like the actual green to pop on there. I think that's a good addition. I think we'll actually add that. Yeah, that's fun. I enjoy that. All right, so we'll tuck a little bit of some greenery on there with that ombre. That green just pops a little bit extra, which is kind of fun. It's going to kind of get an arrangement that I'm all happy with. Actually might add tiny, tiny touches here of the green in the center of the flowers too. Let me see if we like that. That one's too tiny. Oh, these trays, they're absolutely nothing fancy. Hold on a second. Grab some. Was totally just reusing something. They're absolutely just lids from these IKEA containers. They're the lids, and I don't like the lids on them, but I found those trays work really nice for organizing, and then they stack up and I can move them out of the way. So that's where those lids came from, if you were wondering about that. Absolutely the simplest little thing. It's kind of a throwaway thing that I didn't want to throw away. Right, part of me wants to put the pink on there, but part of me feels like it just looks better on here without the pink. And I think there's so much pink on the background that adding that yellow a little bit more is just rounding this out really well. Um, now you're probably going to pull them out and use them for something, Leah, right? It's like, and they're perfect size. If you look, they're perfect size to fit a card on. Like even if you have a card in progress, like I've done it with something like this now where I don't have time to glue it down and I need to clean my desk. I can just set it in there. It keeps it contained. I can stack a few cards up together. And so kind of a great little way to put something to use and not waste it. So, all right, now before I glue these down, I just want to confirm which sentiment I want to use. Then we'll just kind of take our time, glue those down, find some bling. Always love cheering on. The best. Celebrate kind of, I like that elongated and the fact that it goes over the side. So I think I might lean towards that one. Also halfway tempted. I need to match up a little bit with my, kind of tempted to better press this with a little bit of coordinating that green, kind of bring that green in a little bit more. And I think bay leaf is gonna be, these are my ink swatches that I use. So we might pull out bay leaf and kind of do, let's try and do our sentiment letterpress in bay leaf. If we don't love it, then I can always pivot over and do black. There's plenty of room to fit them both on there. And you might have noticed I like to use the stamp set to kind of plan my placement. And then I can still do that. All right, and see lots of room on there so I can do it. Bay leaf, if we don't like it, I'll switch over and just do it in detail black. But for now, I think that's kind of a fun choice. So I'm gonna put that right on there. And then we'll center that as best we can. I'm gonna make use of that piece, which I love. All right. Oh, and that shifted, so I should probably fix that. All right. I could pull up my cube for this, but this is a small one, so I'm just gonna quickly use my larger ink here. Being Bailey's instead of Bailey. See how that will be confusing. Oh, that little hint that Leah gave. Leah and I are both a bit over the moon about this one. So be watching for that. All right. I really do think that I'm gonna like that one, although I do feel like I might have slightly heavily inked it. So I think I'm gonna pull my cube out. I think it was just too tiny and dainty, and that was asking a lot of my big ink pad to do it gently enough there. So I'm gonna dry that off really well and bear with me as I go find that. Got my big ink cube holder since that's where those are, and oh, bay leaf, and we'll try that again with the smaller size. I think that'll be easier to ink and get a smooth finish. And you know what, Elise, those swatches they're individually cut and pasted together. So it's not even a swatch to fill in. It's more just I inked little strips of paper and then put them all together in the rectangles like that. So I don't know if that's really helpful, but that's kind of what happened on that. Okay, make sure I'm getting the right spot there. Always really wanting more information on that. And our lips are sealed, but all I will say is it will be worth the wait. And it's super fun and unique. Okay. I think I like that a little bit better. So I feel like I got a better, more solid impression there. So we're going to go with that one. And put that away, better press machine. And then we just need to die cut the sentiment and then start kind of gluing everything down and assembling. So Lita, I don't know if they're even still available, but I really do love having my swatches to use. So there's lots of different swatching things on the market. I don't know if the ones I have are kind of old and outdated or still available. So I don't want to commit and pull them out and then not have them be a thing. When our ink's released, it's what I use. So. And you know what, Leah just made a good point. I actually really pondered um, doing my flowers, ink blending them on glitter cardstock today. But I kind of wanted to show how fun they were cut from colored cardstock. So, hey, there's our lovely letterpress sentiment that I think that works really well. Like I said, part of me was pondering detail black, but I think it's going to work really well just like that with a hint of that green to kind of bring it all together. Okay, I am going to grab some scraps and oops, too big a scrap. We need little scraps. I'm going to cut a couple extra layers to adhere together for that. Oh, a pink case for all the bling. That would be fun. I like that idea. A bling case. Hmm. We can pass it on. I would use that in a heartbeat. That would be fabulous. Not quite sure how that would look, but we love when you guys give us suggestions. They don't always work, but it's fun to hope and dream a little bit. All right. Let's adhere these together. We're going to break out that liquid glue and start doing some assembly. And then I think we'll probably even have time to add a little bit of bling. Since we're on the subject of bling, I mean, they're talking about a bling case, but the reason we need a bling case is because we all love our bling so much. Sentiment, layers adhere together. All right, that gives us a little sturdier sentiment. I'm only going to need foam on kind of half of that to balance it across, but let's get all of our flowers adhered together and tucked in there where they need to go. Okay. This is where I like to use this as well and that liquid glue. Oh goodness, Alicia, that would be fun. I don't know if there's a camera big enough to fully zoom. It would actually be really good to do more like I guess more of a craft room tour. I just don't think necessarily my room is like that amazing, so I don't really think of it as something everyone wants to see. But I feel like it's a constant work in progress. I figure out how to organize certain things, and then something else comes up that doesn't fit in that organization system. So, all right, just getting all those layers bumped together. And normally I kind of floof up the edges of those, but I'm going to let these layers just dry slightly, and I'm going to do that later so that I can get all of them, because now I've kind of got them gluing together. I can't really do that, you know? Okay. All right, another sip of tea here. I feel like I just have to explain the moments of the silence there. All right, so I'm not going to worry about some of the littler pieces, but we are going to just floof up a little bit on some of those flower petals, the little ones. Those aren't super concerning. Kind of just ruffle them up a little bit, kind of add some texture and on both layers. So that way it pops up off that background a little tiny bit. Same on these. And even those little center, I can just quickly poof those up before they fully glue down, just so we're getting a little more dimension there. This one they kind of both need popped up, so. Okay. Great. That's a little bit better there. And then the leaves and greenery, I'll just kind of pop those in as we get there. All right, let's start with a bit of liquid glue there, and we'll just start kind of nestling. Almost want to foam adhesive that up, but I'm going to try it with liquid glue first because I think it'll still kind of pop around. And honestly, we can kind of mix and match those. I feel like that little cascading effect is kind of good there. Or do you want to pop that on? You know what? I think I might like that better under because I think the white needs the yellow behind it to kind of pop off a little. Okay, and then make sure we've got a good bit of glue back there. It feels like that wants to kind of move. There we go. Great. Fluff up that greenery ever so slightly. Kind of tuck it in there. Right, and then the same with a little bit of that greenery up here. Susie doesn't like the word bling. And you know what? A lot of times I call it, I don't know, just what it is. Glitter drops, clear drops. So what's in a name, right? Okay. Want those tucked in. Oh, excuse me. Oh, oh, anyone else sneeze in twos? I always feel like I sneeze in twos. Okay. And then fluff that one up as well to tuck back behind. All right. We could tuck some more greenery in there, but I think this is the only other one I kind of pondered tucking around, and I don't know. Oh, let's see. Maybe we do want just a smidge more. Let me. Nope, I don't like that one there, that's for sure. Let's see. Like that there. Maybe. I feel like it needs a tiny, tiny bit of additional, but maybe I'm just crazy. Nope. I kind of do like those two though. And maybe this one tucked. Nope. We'll just add those little ones, at least as a tiny, tiny finishing touch. Hard to have too much greenery, right? All right. That's coming together just perfect. So let's get our little sentiment on there. Like I said, I'm gonna, I think, add a little liquid glue to the side that overlaps. Because I'm tight. Once you said however you spell it, then I knew what you meant. I was looking at the word going, okay, I don't think I know what that word means. I forgot I sneezed. That was like a whole 30 seconds ago, right? All right, let's make sure I got that right where I want it to go. Yes, that's perfect. And then we'll just put a tiny bit of liquid glue there just to make sure that'll hold that well. And follow along the line there of the oval. Ugh, so pretty and so elegant with the letterpress, you guys. I really wish you could like, touch and feel the texture on this. And then adding the florals on there. All right, let's pull out my bling case and I'm gonna see about adding some on. It's a bling case, but really it's not. These are just my little bins that I have that are full of bling, which always brings out the bling envy. Let's see. I think it's always good. The iridescent might be really pretty on there. You can't go wrong with the plain clear drops or the little ones with gold dust, but they're really not any other gold on there. So the other color that might be a really good choice here that I have to check out is the pixie dust. Yeah, you know, that would be good, but that's a little too much on the ombre. I think I'm kind of leaning toward either defaulting back to gold jewels, maybe even in a white. That's a pop of white might be good. And green bling. I think the closest we have actually is that leaf bling, which actually is pretty close. It might be not quite on the money there, but it's close. That one's definitely too minty in the glitter drops. So right, I think I'm just gonna go neutral. So we're gonna go with either, I'm just gonna put both these out, see which one we like better. Um, that storage option, I found those on Amazon. And I don't remember what exactly, but someday I should just do a post with some of the favorite storage that I found because I feel like I get asked about that a lot. And I mean, I don't have Amazon. I'm not an affiliate or anything, but I could easily just post to the ones I found that I really like. Actually, let's see. What do you like? A tiny jewel to the middle of, I know that kind of covers up the green one, but it still looks, kind of fits in there well. All right, let's try this. We might do a little row of them up here. That's what I'm kind of thinking might be pretty. Kind of like that asymmetrical. Not the tiniest size there. Okay. Actually, I think I really like that. Well, I wasn't sure about the ombre, but I really do like those little ones there. And I think that that's okay. I'm putting the right bling back in the right container. Check one. There we go. Might do swap out the sizes a little bit. I think I like that better. A little more small and subtle. Yep, I'm gonna go with that. I think that really fits the elegant feel of this, just keeping it All right, let me glue these down. It looks like we've got 5 minutes left and it'll only take me a second. There's not too much of it. And then I'll spin the camera around and I'm sure by then Leah will be ready with her winner for the day. So it's your last moment to get those comments in if you want to be entered for that. And then when Leah posts that one change we've made, for the longest time, we've had Leah be the person you email for those prizes, and we've just switched that. So now the email for that is to me, Heather. And my name's only spelled one way, so we don't always have to explain the spelling of the name, so it goes to the right place. All right, one last close look at our finished. Seriously, I wish you could feel the texture, just like so lush and fun. And I love that. I feel like I should have done more of a fall color combo because this like kind of screams spring, but I'm not mad about it. I still love those colors so well. So, and I love that this looks completely different than the other cards I made with this set too. So, all right, let me switch my camera around and we'll get a winner announced and let you guys be on your way right on time. So I'm really glad I did that flower die cutting in advance with all the different layers. That would have taken a little while. And you could also easily recreate this by doing the ink blending with the layering stencils instead of colored cardstock. But I see congratulations are in order for Deborah. Oh goodness. Leah, you picked me a mean one for our last name. Mokyat? I probably really butchered that bad. Deborah, congratulations. You won today's $15 gift card. The info is in there. Email me, Heather at pinkfreshstudio.com. Give me 2 or 3 business days to get back to you. And I'll get that gift card sent your way. So I really apologize if I said your last name really bad. But congratulations. And thank you everyone for joining us. Oh, good. She saw the comment there. So yay. All right. Well, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for just for coming to these Tuesday lives. These would be really boring without you guys joining us. And so it means a lot that you guys join us and come every week or as many weeks as you're able. So thank you. We will be back next week. Next week is our sneak peek live for our next release. So Leah and I will have something fun up our sleeves for that. And usually we do that as combined live, so you will probably get to see the 2 of us together. There's also usually a super great giveaway for that one, so you don't want to miss that. So same time, same place, but next week on October 1st, and that will be our sneak peek for the next release that happens a week after that. So hope to see you there. In the meantime, have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. Bye.